Okay, I want to hear it. I am so pissed off. I am beyond pissed off. Someone just tell me that the audio works. I mean, wow. What a complete garbage outcome for your New Jersey Devils here tonight. I mean, it's ridiculous. Someone out there in the chat? Audio check. Audio check. Thanks, Krungs. Thanks, Krungs. Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your super pissed off host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And your New Jersey Devils, I hate to be this person. I sincerely do. I hate when people do it. I hate to be that guy. I try not to be. I will make comments sometimes that they were contributory and complain and blah, blah, blah. However, tonight I will say your New Jersey Devils were completely robbed by the men in stripes. And this was an atrocity, so much so that I've contemplated not doing this live and just spending all night making a video about the multiple times the Devils were screwed royally in this game. I mean, it is unbelievable. I'm just trying to see what Bryce is saying. Shout out to Bryce Salvador on the MSG broadcast, by the way. He was calling it bullshit right away. And then he kind of gassed up Sheldon Keefe in the post-game press conference. He knew exactly what he was doing. He led Sheldon right to a way where Sheldon basically, called out the officials for being trash without flat out saying it. So I don't think they'll be able to suspend him. I'll get back to that in a minute, but I'm just trying to see what Bryce is saying. I mean, wow. I mean, win or lose, we booze. And it's sorrow drinks tonight. Dirty Devil vodka, the official vodka, the great martinbrodeurvodka to numb the pain. And a painful one it was. Again, the shout out to you guys. Cheers. Let's do a little Dirty Devil on ice. Let's see. Jake Allen's talking. Let me see what he's talking about. Great first 40 for Jake Allen. Then he kind of fell apart, but it didn't matter. The refs. Cheers. The refs ran on the take tonight, and it's painful. Let's see what he's talking about. Complete bullshit major on Timo. Complete bullshit. Nate just laying on the ice like he took a 9 millimeter slug to the back of his head, laying there. He leaves the ice and he comes back 3 seconds later. I think Keefe in his post game was talking about, maybe there's benefits to laying on the ice because the refs look at the immediate kind of outfall of an incident. And so after the hit, he laid there like he was shot. He goes down the tunnel and he comes back 2 seconds later. So in the post game, Keefe had mentioned, maybe there's benefits to laying on the ice. And then he said something along the lines of, the guy who took the hit played 3 minutes of the major, meaning, he came right back and played. So Natchez lost a lot of points in my book tonight. Complete scumbag move to lay there like, your career was over. And, to do that and come back on, it's just poor sportsmanship. I'm sure a lot of guys will think he's a piece of shit for that. And shame on the refs for buying it. And then furthermore, not only was the Timo thing BS, I'm still watching Bryce here. It was also BS that after the Haula hit, that how on earth do we not end up with a power play after that? I mean, they didn't even call a penalty on the Haula hit. It basically, the Haula hit was fine. It ensued, a melee ensued, a bunch of really nothing, more BS. I think Dilly was out there. I was waiting for him he looked like he wanted to punch someone's face in all night. I was hoping to see it. Another little bit of a melee, but it seemed like, okay, not much. And then, well after it was all kind of settled, Hall is on his way to the box, and Orlov just comes out of nowhere and tackles him. I mean, what are you kidding me? Yeah, if I couldn't imagine if a Devil did that, he would be suspended probably. I just don't understand. That wasn't even in the heat of the battle. The play was fully over for a very long time, and he came out and tackled him. That's allowed? It's just crazy. The referees are trash. I really might have to make a video about those two sequences. I could throw more in there too, like the missed one on Luke. The missed one on Luke. There's probably several others, but the two most egregious being the Timo Major with Natchez, getting an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in a fake homicide on the ice, and then he comes back. I mean, that was just. And then again, the thing with Orlov and Haula, how do we not go on the power play for that? It's completely crazy. Again, very chippy game, heavier, edgier, more violent. They had it to some extent, but then they got bullied. A game in which I think Curtis McDermott would have been useful. I'm sorry, but all Tatar did tonight was serve the Timo Major. He was in the box serving it. But other than that, I would have liked to see Curtis McDermott protection services, and I don't know what they're waiting for to put him in. I mean, I think everyone thought tonight's game was going to be very chippy like this. And it was. Like, this is a game you put McDermott in. What did we pay him money for? To only play if Rempe's playing for the Rangers? And it's like, oh, if Rempe's not in the lineup, then you won't even play against the Rangers? I mean, totally crazy. I hope this was the last straw. We finally see some more McDermott, but wow. I'm super pissed. The refs totally screwed us. And again, I hate to be that guy, but let's be real. The referees won this game. But, obviously, scoreless first period. Good amount of shots. Devils with 10, Carolina with 16. First period ends scoreless. Jake Allen playing very well out of the gate. We go to the second period. Paulie Cotter, beautiful finish. Giving the Devils his 8th of the season. Giving the Devils the 1-0 lead at 2:56. And then in the waning moments of the first period, 30 seconds left, Orlov gets one. Devils were winded. They capitalize. Tied at 1 going to the third. I do the emergency press conference in the red light district. And we go to the third period, hoping for the third period of the year, and it ended up being an absolute travesty. Didn't start off that way, though. Palat gets his 8th at 1:05. Very quick into the period, we take the lead. Devils up 2-1. Palat's 8th from Bratter and Dougie. And then we give that right back. 50 seconds later, Sebastian Aho ties it up at 2. And then that was pretty much the beginning of the end. That's when it all fell apart. It all went to complete shit. Timo gets that penalty. Complete nonsense. They get the go-ahead goal on the power play. And that was it. They go up 3-2. They get another one, go up 4-2. And then with the goalie pulled, they get the empty net 5-2. Devils lose. Absolutely terrible. And this one is on the refs. I mean, there's nothing more you could say. It's complete trash. This might be one of the worst refereeing games. I mean, we've seen, like I talked about, I don't even know at this point. I'm on here so often. I don't remember if it was the pregame or a different postgame. I can't remember. But I think it's a genuine gripe. And maybe every team has their own set of cases. But, I mean, I just feel like the amount of times that the referees have screwed the 24-25 New Jersey Devils is completely psychotic. I don't think it's just my imagination or wearing rose-colored glasses. I believe there's been many egregious instances of the referees screwing the Devils. I mean, let's be real with this intent to blow bullshit. How many? I would love to know how many goals across the entire league. And again, they don't make any of these things easy to find, so I don't even think AI would be able to find this. But now I'm going to maybe write it down and try to look later. How many goals across the entire league thus far in the? I don't even know. Has it been hundreds and hundreds of NHL games played? Yeah, hundreds of NHL games played thus far in the 24-25 season. How many goals have been waved off for a referee's intent to blow a play dead? I would love to know, because the Devils have at least 2 waved off for them, minimum 2. That Avalanche game last night against the Canes, and I might be missing some. You guys have better memories than me. I'm old and whatever, but I would love to know, because that to have 2 goals waved off ended up not mattering in the game last night against the Canes, but you can make the argument that it would have made a huge difference in the Avalanche game. And then just the terrible calls and non-calls that seemingly have been going on all season. I mean, the Timo thing is crazy. That's a major. The guy's laying on the ice. I want to see if there's a different angle. I only saw it on the MSG broadcast. I heard that people were saying the Carolina broadcast was pretty brutal in terms of, I guess, just extreme homer behavior or commentary. But the referees have been trash tonight. Glaring example of it. They get the go-ahead goal. with the ensuing power play from the Timo thing, which was nonsense. And then again, how does the guy Orlov just straight up mug Haula, and we end up and it just wipes out, and we don't end up on a power play from that? Completely insane. But the Devils got to pay attention and remember these games, because in the end, we had an opportunity. We could have been getting killed after the first two, to be honest. Let's just start there. Jake Allen really stood on his face the first 40 minutes, and then he just kind of fell apart. But I mean, credit to him for his start of the game. But we also had chances to win the game despite all that. Couldn't get it done, and you let the referees decide the game, unfortunately. That's unfortunately what happened here tonight. But a playoff war, and hopefully they learn from it. Again, the intensity has to get ratcheted up a little bit, in my opinion. They started getting really feisty, and we answered for the most part, but I would have liked, in situations like that, I don't only like to match aggression, I like to go over the top and meet that with even, you want that energy? We'll bring it even more. Dylan was looking for one all night. Dilly's gloves were off, I think, several times. That definitely in that last skirmish with the Orlov, when Haula rocked him, Dilly went right into the pile, gloves off, ready to go. Nothing happened. But what a horrible night. What a horrible night for the Zebras. I do think, that they literally, I will say, the referees gave the Hurricanes this game tonight. Game stats, Devils 23 shots on goal, Canes with 41. Devils got abused in the faceoff circle, 39% to 61%. Devils over 2 on the power play, Canes 1 for 3. 41 hits apiece for the Devils and Canes. 41 hits is a lot of hits. A lot of hits. Heavier, edgier, more violent. 13 block shots for the Devils, 11 for the Hurricanes. Devils with 14 giveaways, Canes with 12 giveaways, Devils 4 takeaways, Canes with 3 takeaways. And that is your story of the game. Your New Jersey Devils were completely robbed tonight. Robbed of a chance at victory, robbed of the elusive 4th consecutive win, robbed of our dignity. And I'm glad that Sheldon Keefe, it was a read between the lines, but really not even read between the lines. It was more of like a covert, just slandering of the referees, much deserved. And shout out to Bryce Salvador, because he queued it up perfectly, leading him with the language and stuff, and left it so that, that Sheldon Keefe could certainly get his point across without straight up just being like the refs blow, because he'd get hit with the fine. But I was fine with him taking a fine. I said in the chat before, that's a situation where I think you just go off the handle and, pay that. I don't know, what could they hit him with, 50K? I mean, I guess 50K is still a lot, even if you're him, but a lot of you offered to start a GoFundMe. I think we could have raised the money. Super pissed. Let me see what you guys are talking about here. I'm going to try to just scroll up here. Keeping up with the Devils. What a win tonight for the Canes and the refs. Stanley Nate just is a real weasel piece of shit. Lots not to like in this game. But between Carolina's imbecile fan base, who boos and offsides, and the atrocious officiating, this was infuriating a game. I agree. Completely agree. SST, first time in 2 years I'm legit pissed with officiating since that Toronto game when 3 goals were called back. Yep, I think that was the chicken tender one where all the chicken tenders ended up on the ice. Keeping up with the Devils. This year's Oscar definitely goes to Marty Natchez. Seth, every time we try to try a 4-game streak, Allen loses. I think Markstrom probably would have lost this one tonight too, but who knows? Even Canes fans are laughing how hard Natchez sold the injury. Just brutal. I mean, yeah, you should get, to do that and come right back. It's just like, rubbing our faces in it. Like, I'm a little actor. I'm a little weasel that just faked an injury, essentially. He probably went down the tunnel and waited, and he's probably standing there. Once you couldn't see him off camera, and he was probably standing there with the trainer, and he's like, all right, can I go back yet? Like, completely just faking. That's like some little brother shit. Like when you whack your brother, but it wasn't that hard, but they go down, like, you hit him with the haymaker from hell. Terrible. Completely terrible. Stanley, how the hell was Orlov not thrown out of the game? Total clown show. Yeah, it was the play. The whole thing was way over. I'm curious in real time how many seconds, but it was well over. Hall is getting escorted to the box, and he just comes over and tackles him. I mean, come on, man. Had a Devil done that, they would have called the police. There'd be an assault charge in a pending court case in Raleigh, North Carolina. Stanley, Carolina's always been a weasel franchise. They spent the better part of a decade diving all over the ice. Anyone remember Eddie Belfour mocking them? I don't. I'd be curious. When did Eddie Belfour mock them? That's pretty funny. Luke Allen Softy was a killer. That was a pretty weak goal. But, I mean, the guy stopped like 10 breakaways at some point. Evan Spitzberg, it's okay, Devils fam. SST, at least Keefe got pissed off too. Lindy would just make his signature hand palm wave, and that would be it. Terrible. Jordan Hope, maybe if the officials did their job correctly, the game would have gone in the Devils' favor. What a joke. They still had the chances to win, but man, it really sucks when the referees literally decide the game, and that's what happened tonight. Stanley didn't say anything. He was pretending to dive on the ice. I'm sure there's video out there. This was prior to 2010. They were notorious for diving at that time. Resting guitar face. You guys, if you're ripping on Allen, I'm not sure you actually watched the game. The guy kept us in it. The score would have been much worse. No, I agree there. He kind of fell apart at the end, but it didn't matter. I mean, it could have been 6-1. After the first two periods, he played a stellar first two periods, kept us in it, and yeah, I mean, the whole game would have probably been different, right? If Mercer buried that with the empty net. I mean, there was so many things you look at, but obviously, when it comes down to it, when you essentially lose the game on a bogus penalty call, it really hurts. And then after that, when there's a chance to give you a justly deserved power play, they rob you of that too. So it's like you put us in the hole, and then you rob us of a power play to potentially fight to get back in it. Just a complete kick in the balls by the Zebras tonight. Four Devils, smash the like as if it's the ref's face. Yeah, thanks, guys. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. And if you think the refs suck, hit the thumbs up. Cisco Kid, be that guy, bro. We were robbed. Preach, Ace. Ref, you suck. Yeah, it was bad, man. Keeping up the Devils. Ace, let me send my condolences by giving you a life. I appreciate that. I don't know that it's going to cheer me up, but I appreciate the gesture nonetheless. Ramona Rice, what's going on? Them refs was so bad. I don't care about the loss. It's the damn cheat. I mean, the loss hurts too. And the way that the loss happened. And Fentanyl Floyd, the league needs to start holding these refs accountable. Exactly. I'm sick and tired, and it seems like the NHL, and again, guys, I said this in the chat, so let me circle back. I'm all over the place because I'm fired up and super pissed. I would not be surprised if Timo Meier gets a suspension. He got the game misconduct. They're going to review this. He obviously got that other bullshit suspension a couple weeks back with the cross-checking thing. They might try to be like, oh, this guy's a repeat offender. You believe it? Timo Meier, the repeat offender. And they might hit him with a game or two. I wouldn't be shocked at this point because it seems as though even when the league is proven wrong, they will not deviate. They dig their feet deeper and will defend it. I think that could happen. And when that happens, oh, man, I might put out a web series. I'm going to straight out put out a series talking about how much how tragic the referees have been in Devils games. And from one of my good buddies, Jordan, his brother lives in Raleigh. He's probably lived there for like maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 years or so. And he goes to a lot of he's a Devils fan, and he goes to a lot of Devils games at Carolina. So he just texted me, my brother who lives in Raleigh now has a 2-11 record seeing the Devils versus the Canes in Carolina. Unreal. 2-11 for a New Jersey native currently living in North Carolina over the past, call it 6 or 7 years, whatever it is, something like that, has a 2-11 record going to see the Devils play in Raleigh. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And after games like this, it makes me want to do bad stuff. The refs are a joke, man. I just, wow. And especially the whole way the game was playing, it was a super tight divisional game. It was like a playoff game. And then to decide the game in that fashion is just disgusting. Hugo, a lot of missed calls. Jeter, Toker, Grossum, Paul's Natchez. Yeah, I don't think so. Manuel, I lost the rest of sympathy for number 88 Natchez today. What a little sister. Max, as long as we win in Anaheim, all is good. I mean, yeah, that's fine, but it's not, the stuff with the refs is just maddening. It's maddening, and if Timo gets suspended, I'm going to really lose it. Luke Haller earned some points for me tonight. That was a hit, man. That was a big hit he threw. Fentanyl Floyd, that's the problem. People don't stand up and call these refs out because they don't want to get fined. Fine, but the league, in the spirit of the integrity of the game, you have to be able to admit that you messed up and made a mistake. Sometimes it seems as though in situations like this, instead of coming out and just owning it and being like, we messed up, the guy was an actor, like, it wasn't probably a major whatever, condolences. Instead of doing that, they're going to come out and tell us why it was a bad hit and now why Timo suspended. I'm telling you, I hope I'm wrong. I have a bad feeling that Timo's going to get a suspension for this shit. I really do. Nature says a rat. Keeping up with the Devils. Canes lost last night because the whole team wasn't contributing. Tonight, the men in stripes really showed up. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Their fan base is terrible, too. I'm really... The hatred for the Canes is just mounting and mounting. Eaton Beaver, easily 3 missed calls on Brat. Gem card collecting, boys. We get the Canes round 1 most likely. We'll get payback. Payback when it's most important. Oh, that's a scary proposition. I do not want to play them in the playoffs. I don't. I hate them, and they're just a slippery, greasy team. Amagi, Orlov jumped Cotter from behind and jumped Hall like that. Absolute bitch mode like Natchez. They deserve each other. Traveling Devil, Halla got a minor for absolutely nothing but going to the ice after getting mugged. John M. Orlov deserved the 5-minute instigator for that tackle. Literally the definition of instigating a fight. Yeah, I just don't know how there wasn't a major there. Wild. The play was completely over. Completely over. I don't even think he was on the screen. He just kind of came out of nowhere, and he's like, oh, Hall's going to the box? Okay. I'm going to attack him now. Jeter, Toker, Dilly would snuff Orlov and Natchez at the same time. Oh, man, I love Dilly. He wanted one so bad. From early on, too. Like, he was locked up with somebody during a face-off. A couple of the little things after the whistle, he was always there. And on that last one, after the Orlov, the Halla hit, he skated over with his gloves off. I thought we were finally going to see one. The refs told Hall to walk. They let him get attacked. Absolute BS. Ramona Rice, I have no respect for the Canes. They're desperate. What a way to lose a game, man. Wasted youth comics and action figures. The Myertsy penalty was BS. It was. John Woodson, BS call, but I'll never blame the refs. Team got outplayed tonight. Defense sucked the last 2 games. Oh, God, Woodson. Go to sleep, Woodson. Will you please? Go to bed, Woodson. Good night. Good night. They got outplayed, but we still lost because of the refs. Just stop it. Jeter Toker, Canes penalty kill scares me in a 7-game series, but I think we beat them in 6. John M. Gotta love Brendan Moore complaining to the refs that the Canes didn't get a power play after the Orlov Hall scuffle. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, the audacity. You should be kissing their ass that you're not shorthanded. Not only was that good enough, yeah, it seemed like he was expecting the power play. Like, what are you kidding me, Brendan Moore? Your guy tackled Hall. Orlov tackled him like minutes after the play was over. Jeep 78. Love to see Halla play physical. Big respect. Someone should respond to Orlov. Dirty play. McDermott has to start playing every game against a Metro opponent. I agree. Couldn't agree more. I don't know why Keefe is so hesitant to put McDermott out there. I'm sorry, and back to, we've talked about this. The insane Pollock. Our record with Big Mac in the lineup speaks for itself. I believe it's 10-3-1, which is just ridiculous. SST, refereeing aside, Devils have to be better against these types of teams. They are struggling big time against Carolina's style of play. To some extent, but they were in the game and had the chance to win it, and the refs decided to end it when they called that major on Timo. Seth, since we started the streak, all lose. If from Allen, I'm done with him. Yeah, I don't love the guy, but I mean, I have to give credit where it's due. Through the first 40 minutes, he was phenomenal. And I can't put the loss on him because we could have been down 6-1 after the first 2 periods. He didn't help steal it at the end, but the boys got to do more in front of him. Krong's Allen kept us in the game. I don't know why you guys would be down on him like this. Yeah, I agree. Ramona Rice, this is a 1 game Big Mac should have played. Couldn't agree there more. Rabid Monkeypox, worst ref game I've seen in years. Craig Orlando, that call was bad. Refs were trash all game. Yep. Kevin, remove human refs from the ice and let AI take over. Collect records. Award for best actress goes to Natchez. John Woodson, Devils don't win back-to-back. They always look gassed in game 2. Keeping up with the Devils, calling for the recall of Nico Dawes. I'm not. I don't think him or Markey were winning this game tonight, if I'm being honest. I mean, they were just. The Canes were all over the place. But let's see if this updates. Yeah, their shots on goal finished at 41. I mean, it's a lot of shots, and a lot of them were high quality. Dire Wolf, they had a chance to review the Timo call and still blew it. He led with his shoulder and didn't flagrantly stick his leg out. Just atrocious officiating. Yeah. Awful. And that's why I believe, because it was reviewed and they stuck with the call, that's why I believe it's going to get reviewed by the league, and Timo's going to get a suspension, I think. It's crazy. Greg Orlando, Natchez faked an injury like a soccer player does not belong in hockey. Could not agree more, and hopefully his peers tell him we don't do that shit in the National Hockey League. But they probably won't. Terrible. Ramona Rice, everyone complaining about Allen. It's on the refs this game. Stanley, I'd have a much bigger problem with how the Devils just can't figure out how to slow down Carolina's forecheck, but the officiating was egregious, and the Hurricanes play with zero honor. Yeah. That is, you've said no lies there. Wrestling guitar face, Allen kept us in this game, and I'll die on that hill. No, absolutely. I mean, we could have been down. We could have been down big time after the first 2. Insane Pollock, Ace, please block Woodson for the night. We don't want to see it tonight. I can't. I don't have the ability to do that. You guys could block him yourself, so you wouldn't see his stuff. And SST says, why Woodson hate when he is on point? Woodson, overpay Luke. You lose Kova and your much needed top 6 forward. But I should shut up. Should shut up. Math isn't hard. Everyone's saying the first round matchup is coming. Insane Pollock, league has to make a rule where if you fake an injury, it's an immediate unsportsmanlike. Well, I mean, essentially they have the embellishing penalty or / diving. I mean, people still call it diving, but it's technically embellishment or an unsportsmanlike conduct. But either way, they have the ability to call it. And if that's the, what do you have to make a time rule? Like, okay, Natchez could be like, I really was hurt. How can you tell him he wasn't? It was obvious bullshit when he walked off. He walked down the tunnel and came back 3 minutes later, or not even. It was like, what, one stoppage? Yeah, he played on the power play, so it was nearly immediately. How do you quantify that? NJ Swamp Fox, as Keith said, call a 5-minute major and the purported injured player plays 3.5 minutes of the 5-minute power play. Well, they called a roughing on, I forget who, on Carolina. So we only ended up getting 3 minutes of the 5-minute major. But, point still made that Natchez was out there playing the power play. John Lopez, do you think management has faith in Allen going into the playoffs, or will they be looking for insurance? I believe that they have full faith in Allen. No insurance. Jeep says NHL backs the refs no matter what. I think that's what's going to happen. Maria says no accountability with the refs. Corrupt. Kevin G, where's Scott Stevens when you need him? Nate just needs an introduction, if you know what I mean. Oof. Ooh. It is funny. It's just the league is so different now. It's wild. It's become so soft. And now you guys know why I've been, always talking smack and wanting to see the heavier, edgier, more violent, because the league has just gotten pathetic. You got guys diving on the ice and faking injuries now. John Fay, hey, Ace and Devils fans, just came by to say that I just saw something saying the Canes are 12-1-0 in the past 2 seasons with the same officiating that was happening on the ice tonight. Well, what do you mean that the Canes are 12-1-0 in the past 2 seasons with the same officiating crew? With the same refs? Can't put anything past Bettman's BS officiating and cover-ups. NHL is corrupt to the core. But John Fay, send me what you're talking about or drop the link in the chat. I want to look into that. If you're talking about the same officiating crew, like the same refs or whatever, that is insane. 12-1-0 with a certain ref or officials doing the game. I mean, that's unforgivable stuff. Yo, Snand, thank you with the super chat here. Nature still ended up hitting the post on the empty net. Yeah, what a scum. Thank you for the super there, Yo, Snand. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't get the goal, but I mean, the damage was done. He won his team in the game by, faking an injury. NJ Swamp Fox, what's the Canes' record with this officiating crew? Yeah, whoever said that, I lost it now. I think it was John Fay. Someone put the link in the chat about where that information is out. If that's a real stat, it needs to be an immediate investigation. I mean, imagine if this led to like an NHL betting conspiracy, like that guy. What was his name? Donahue. I forget. Tim Donahue. I forget his name, but the NBA ref. And it was like a whole scandal for years that he was involved in this shit. Oh man, imagine if this was the game that started the investigation and that happened in the NHL. I would die laughing. 12-0-1. Okay, I need to see. Is there a real somewhere to support this? Seth, where Bobby Holik and Randy McKay or Mike Peluso at? Yeah, the Crashers wouldn't be playing those games. I need to know where the evidence of this yeah, keeping up with the Devils. Rod Brindamore's 300th win. The refs really wanted it to happen at home. Wow. Luke, Allen gave him a chance. Allen gave them a chance. What are you guys talking about? I'm assuming you're saying you agree with that and you thought Allen gave him a chance, or you don't, Luke. It's a little unclear the way you wrote that. I think that he definitely gave them a chance. John Woodson, I don't blame Fitz for doing the safe goalie move, but I said it last year. Would have loved to give Logan Thompson a shot to be a starter. 2 third-rounders at a league minimum. Caps look like a genius. Luke, also both Timo and Halla were after-the-fact calls. Cheap, really want to see Halla play physical. Definitely noticed him more when he threw the body. I mean, that hit was crazy. The hit was absolutely crazy. The Canes are a team of punks. Luke, where's my hat? You lose Pony Express? Bro, it's the holidays, guy. Everything's going out Monday. Everyone will get a tracking. Relax. This guy, I'm running to the post office and I'm playing with kids and doing holiday things. Where's my hat? Tracking on Monday, pal. I hope that's quick enough for you. BM, we are going to see the Canes in the playoffs. I just know it'll be an epic series. Oh, God. It really makes me nauseous. I do not want to play them in the playoffs. Definitely don't want to play them in the playoffs whatsoever. Direwolf, Jake Allen did everything you could ask of a backup against a good team on the road. Yeah, he led in a softie, but he gave you a chance. He gave us more than a chance, and it sucks the way we lost. It is what it is. He didn't play a great third period, but the wheels fell off. The whole friggin' thing went to hell. Mike, Barbado. I grew up in New Jersey, but I've lived in North Carolina for many years, but I stopped going to Devils like Canes games around 2008. Since the Canes beat the Devils in the 2002 playoffs, it seems they've had our number since. Yeah, absolutely. Jay Snow, what happened? I left the house. It was 2-1. Where did you leave the house to go, Jay Snow? On a Saturday night in a division matchup with your New Jersey Devils playing the way they have been? You left your house? Shame on you. Stanley, SST, you're not wrong, but this was next level awful officiating. Decades of watching hockey, and this was up there. I honestly can't believe what I witnessed. Yo, I'll never forget. The refs hate the Devils ever since the Have Another Donut. For newer fans, if you're not familiar, look up the Have Another Donut Koharski Devils incident from the 80s. You'll certainly appreciate that. John Woodson, no one wants the Canes in the first round. Good coaching plus scrappy team, no thanks. If you get by, you're bruised and beaten. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play Carolina at all. Because even if you beat them, like you said, Woodson, you are not coming out of it unscathed. Your team is going to feel like they went through a war, because they will. Same ref crew, same ref crew. Okay, so someone posted the link for where this is about the officiating crew. That's a post on Reddit. Is this a real thing or is this fake news about the officiating crew? I don't even know how someone could really easily look that up. That's why it seems like it's fake. I hope it's not, because if that is, that's going in. I'm doing an expose series. Maybe we'll, together we could shed light on this thing and maybe uncover the NHL referee betting scandal like the NBA had. We're going to send shockwaves through the hockey world. I posted the link above. Yeah, for some reason, when people put links, Amagi, your link is not showing up in the chat. Let me see. I'll have to look into this. But yeah, thanks for pointing this out. If this is verified, that's pretty insane. Refs are probably Koharski children. Luke, I said I don't give them a chance to win. I'm 12 deep and the most pissed I've been in years. It was a terrible, terrible loss. Oh, God. I'm just so mad. I'm just so pissed. NJ Swamp Fox, the refs cost us the game, but our D's failure to exit the D zone and too many lost board battles killed us. Listen, there's tons of things you could dissect about the Devils' less than stellar play tonight, but the reality is the game was ended, and it was a very good close game. The game was ended when they called that BS on Timo. That was the end of it. And so yeah, you could point to all those other things, but in the end, the refs ended it for us. I mean, they really did. Brian J, tough loss, but these are two of the best teams in the league. BS calling Timo. I'll be at Anaheim, going to be pissed if he gets suspended. I think there's a chance, man. I hope I'm wrong, but it seems like they dig their feet in and they defend the shenanigans and the nonsense. That should have never been a major. Natchez is a little actress, and that is pathetic. Luke, I said it before, the Devils will be better for this game, and we can beat this team in the best of 7. Ace, just busting your chops about that, but you'd think I made a knock on your hairline. Yeah, I forget who said that. Idiots. I got a thick head of hair, boy. SST, Dougie might get traded this summer as his 10 teams trade list kicks in. Better to trade him while he's still good offensively. Spencer, Ace is trying to branch out to a true crime series. Do I smell Pulitzer for investigative journalism? No, I don't think so, but it would be nice to uncover the betting scandal. Maybe we could all work together, find some patterns, and really uncover some shit here. Maybe we'll finally get Bettman out of there once and for all. Devils rule, it's easy to blame the refs for tonight, but the Devils just weren't good enough. This is all true. I'm not saying the Devils played a great game, but they were robbed a fair chance of winning the game, regardless of whether they deserved to win or not, or they were, playing better. The reality is they were in the game with a chance to win, and that was robbed of us because of a nonsense penalty call on Timo Meier. Ridiculous. Luke says Hamilton should be traded in the offseason. Wow. John Woodson, the NHL has always hated the Devils. I'm used to it by now. Mary, after watching the Devils game and the Bengals football game tonight, I think I felt every single emotion possible and need to sleep for a week straight. I haven't really followed NFL too much. I mean, I have a fantasy team, and I pay attention to that. But let's just see. The Bengals. What did the Bengals do? They won. They beat the Broncos. My fantasy team is in a bad one. I'm in the finals, and it's in a bloody one. Greg, we'll be able to take the Canes on in the playoffs because we are a heavier, edgier, more violent team. Plus, we nabbed Hamilton, Pesci, and Nason from them. Well, if they're playing with the guys they have plus the referees, I don't like our chances. Dire Wolf, love keeps comments about the refs. Also wild that the Canes have that record with these refs over the last 2 years. Yeah, pretty wild. Pretty wild. Thirst for war. Should have been embellishment on Natchez. Yeah, it should have been. But it wasn't. And then he hit in the hallway, and then he came out for the power play. How nice. Igor got pulled and then refused to return to the bench for a while. Embarrassing display. Oh, is there more trouble in Broadway? Luke, I love Hamilton, but it's a cap league, and we have Casey and Nemitz. Thirst for different refs I posted above. Plot has been scoring. There's that. Hate the Canes. On to the next. Yeah, it's a shame that his scoring went to waste. It was all for naught as your New Jersey Devils get completely screwed. John Woodson, no one's taking Dougie's $9 million off us without retention. I wouldn't say never. I'd imagine most teams would probably want a little bit retained, but I think there's a shot you could get rid of him without retention to the right team in the right scenario. But I think most people probably would ask for some of that money retained. So should we just ignore the fact that we let up 40 shots? Somewhat, because the Canes average a ton of shots because they shoot from everywhere. So, it doesn't really tell the whole story because tons of their shots will be garbage shots. Now, tonight they got tons of great shots as well. But I think you should be more concerned with the amount of quality scoring chances they had versus the amount of shots. Ryan, he's not getting suspended because Nate just came back out. I don't know if that's going to matter. They gave him a major in the game. I hope I'm wrong. It'd be wild. I just have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to dig in and be like, yeah, that was a dirty hit. There's no room for that in our game. And then hit him with some nonsense suspension. Carolina is just awful. Not only do the Devils have nothing but shit luck against them, they also love rolling over for the Rangers every chance they get. Insufferable. John Woodson, Devils need 2 cycle-type players for the playoffs. We'll only get 1 this year, but that's a style they will need late in the playoffs. SST, trading Dougie will pave the way to sign our golden child Luke to a $9 million contract. Didn't you guess he was going to get 4? I forget. You guessed some really crazy low number. I have it screenshotted somewhere to, break it out when you're proven to be completely wrong. Once again, I will be breaking it out. But Carolina takes a lot of garbage shots. Exactly. Jeter Toker got to be able to win the games the way the Panthers did last year. They should be the blueprint. Just grind people into dust and just heavier, edgier, more violent all 60 minutes. Travis Walker, Nate just acted like he got assassinated and then got right back up after the 5-minute was called. Yeah, he did. He really made the refs look like idiots. Quinn making 7.8, thinking Luke will get 7 is crazy. No, it's not. And you'll see when he signs the deal. Luke, Hamilton is still a top pair defense. The Devils could easily trade him. Keeping up with the Devils. Hey, we always follow losses up with 2+ wins, so let's see it. Rich, Keith joked last postgame about the Canes taking shots in the parking lot. Yeah, they're just trying to put the numbers up. Damian Wayne, honestly, that major was a turning point. I hated it. Meyer should not have been penalized. It was literally like what Kucherov did to Kachuk. An accident and a clean hit, only reason we lost. I'm not going to say the only reason, but it's the main reason. Luke, hoping Luke gets 8x8, but I think he might get more. Wow, you're real high on the spectrum there for the guesses, Luke. I'm thinking, I've said from months ago, I think he gets between 7 and 8 million. And there are some people, I believe, that firmly believed he was going to get more than that. I think they hopefully get him in between that 7 and 8 million. And I think it's going to shock a lot of people. Anything more than that, I think people will go into full-blown meltdowns. Random ass question, but constantly seeing Marty's pads has me thinking, what's Marty's best pad stick combo in his career? Oh, definitely the pads that are there, my man. Hold on, let me move my chair out, and I'm going to see if I have a stick nearby. The glove and blocker up top are from 2003, but the pads are from 97, 98, and he wore that pattern for a few seasons. That's clearly the best pattern. The Heat and Helite 4, by far, is those are his best pads, and I think I have the stick nearby. Give me 1 second. I was mistaken. I don't have the stick that he used with that pad nearby, but it's the stick that he used with those pads. That's the best pad stick combo by far. I'll scream bridge deal for Luke until my face turns blue. Well, what kind of bridge deal do you think he would sign? I don't think he's signing anything for little money. Zach says 7.5 for Luke. Luke, Ace, when I called in, you said 7x7. I still say 8 times 8.5 to 9. Wow. I mean, nothing would surprise me anymore, honestly. I would really like to keep him between 7 and 8, but wow. Jeep, wouldn't hate trading Hamilton for maybe a small goalie upgrade or a top 9 forward. I wouldn't hate a Nemitz Dylan pair. That could be elite. What is a small goalie upgrade? A small goalie upgrade over who? Allen? When will Ace apologize for the Palat hate? I've never hated on Palat. I've been at times maybe somewhat critical. But I've always said, the one thing I've always said about Pally is he does do the little things that don't get the credit all the time. Again, the contract is what makes him the target of a lot of people's stuff. But I think that he could be a very clutch player in the playoffs. And that's when I'm really going to judge some of these guys. And it goes always, right? Like, you know, Jack and Bratter could have 100-point seasons, 105-point seasons. But if they struggle in the playoffs, I mean, that's what really matters. And on the same token, guys like, you know, the Palats, the Mercers, you know, the Hallas of the world could really stand out in a playoff. Rich Reynolds, I agree. Those Heatons are Marty's best pads. I don't think there's even a. I don't even think there's a conversation to be had. Really, Devils Rule 908. Always forget the year, but that Vector stick year was always my favorite. Oh man, that doesn't even rank in the top 5. Devils Rule. Terrible take. Stanley 6245. Marty's 2012 Sherwood kit went hard. Deserves more love. Honorable mention to 2004 as well. Now the three best leg pads are the Helite 4s that I have behind me that he wore for several seasons. Then the Helite 5s were absolutely phenomenal that he wore, and I think 99 2000. Yeah, the Helite 5s from 99 2000 were absolutely beautiful. And I liked is the 2001. I think those are Helite 6. Those were the co-branded Heat and CCMs. The 2001s are sick. Watch out, a Canes fan troll may pop into the stream. Just had something on Let's Go Devils podcast. We have Devils fan trolls in here. What do I care? It's part of it. It just comes with the nature of the beast. Max, will they rear pay? I don't know what that is. They are Hurricanes. Ryan, Luke will sign for $6 to $8 million. I think that seems about right. Selected boy, what's going on? Luke, bridge deal for Luke is insane. I think Fitzy's going to try to lock him up. Dire Wolf, Woodson doesn't know what he's talking about. Luke is going to get 7.5 minimum, and it'll be a steal the moment it's signed. The same thing happened to Matthew Tkachuk on Monday versus Tampa. Tkachuk was helped off and came back to play. Kucherov got 5 minutes and game no suspension. Is this real? The governor of the state of North Carolina just called your NJ Devils a dirty team on Twitter. Rivalry heating up. Wow. Jeff says cap is going up 8.5 times 8 is what I think he'll get. Wow. I think some people will literally, people were freaking out when I said between 7 and 8 million. 8.5 million will surely put some people into cardiac arrest. I'm not going to read that out loud, but you guys could read that. That's pretty funny. Jake Allen needs to perform better, honestly, because he's better than this. Yeah, but I mean, everything. Allen's the last guy I'm blaming for this one. Quinn is a point per game defenseman. Yeah, he's underpaid at 7.8, but Luke is a 40, 50 point guy, and we think he gets above 7. Woodson, I don't think, I know. And when it happens, I'm coming with the receipts from you and SST that somehow live in this world where you think he's going to sign for $4 million. It's psychotic behavior. It's not happening. And my 7 to 8 million guess could be overly optimistic, honestly. People are guessing crazy numbers. I think some of them are completely, I seen some things a while back. They were completely ludicrous. But we'll see. Greg Orlando, having Jack and Luke together is ridiculously good fortune. He's going to get paid also to make sure we keep Jack happy. Luke will only get 7 to 8 million if both Palat and Hamilton are traded, which is possible because of the trade clauses activating. Luke is not Adam Fox. You guys are drinking Ace's vodka. Dire Wolf, Kova is gone if he isn't signed by July 1st. You don't bridge a superstar to retain a guy off one great year. I think you could find a way to get them both done. I agree that if Kovacevic goes to free agency, it's over. Someone's going to chuck big money at him. NJ Swampfox, Luke needs to leave some cap room for Quinn. Jack did. A lot of people think that all three Hughes brothers on your New Jersey Devils could happen. They'd have to sign super team-friendly deals, man. They just make too much money. Luke is not in the same stratosphere as Quinn. I agree that he's not yet, but that doesn't mean anything in terms of contracts. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. As we've seen time and time again. Was Jack worth $8 million a year when Fitz gave him that deal? No. I believe he had 50 or 51 points. He wasn't worth $8 million. It was a gamble. It was a calculated gamble by Fitz, and it worked out beautifully. Mike Barbado, it'd be nice if every once in a while the NHL would review bad calls, similar to what they do with suspensions and say, we got this one wrong, we'll do better. Have they ever said that in the history of the league? I don't think that that's something they really do. It seems like they're in the business of digging their feet in, defending their point or their decision, whatever it may be, and then explaining to you why it is what it is. I really hope he doesn't get suspended. SST just calling for everybody. Lazar also must be sent packing this summer. I'll take Luke over Fox anytime. By the way, Hamilton's contract is up when Quinn Hughes is an unrestricted free agent. We got another guess for Luke. He at 7.5. Gem card collecting. I could be wrong, but I just seen something saying Canes are 12-1 with this ref lineup. If this is true, something needs to be looked at. Oh, for sure. If that is true, I got to verify that. If that is true, the investigation must begin immediately. Jack has a much higher ceiling than Luke. Max, kind of disappointed they didn't play Big Mac tonight. You guys know where I'm at with Big Mac. I want to see him in these types of games all the time. Jeep, guys, remember Jim Hughes always has said that Luke was better than Jack at any age growing up. Again, that doesn't really mean much to me either, but it's a nice little kind of soundbite from the old man. LHC Jade, I have a question. What is your question? I agree. I want a Big Mac to smash someone tonight. Dan O'Rourke is one of those loser refs, those refs that loves to hate us. APOC, Devils spent over 90 minutes against the Canes without getting a single call. Yeah, it's crazy how clean the Canes played against the Devils, right? With the lack of penalties of them taking. Wild. They pay players now for the future, Jay Snow, and this is correct. This is what I've been telling people. They're all like calculated gambles. Guys are getting money or the amounts earlier than they should because the GMs are hoping that maybe they overpaid for the first year, but then the next 6 or 7 years is a bargain. And that's the calculated gamble that they're forced to take. It's just part of the game now. Luke, I want Mac in every game over for Tatar. Jack agrees, as does your boy right here. You guys know I love the heavier, edgier, more violent play and love what McDermott brings. Jim said that about Quinn versus Luke, not Jack. Quinn and Luke are both D-men. Luke can skate and sometimes not make dumb cross-ice passes. That's all. Otherwise, he doesn't fight, hit, chirp, troll. That Orlov jumping should be able to be tried as a felony. That's straight up assault. I mean, it is crazy. I would hate if a player in that situation like Halla was in, like ever actually filed charges because like it wasn't, if he hit him with a stick or something cool, I would say fine, but like, it was over the line. But I wouldn't want to see someone get in trouble criminally for some shit like that. But that, how we don't end up with a power play there, I have no idea. Dire Wolf, some of these Luke takes are driving me nuts. Luke is 5 years away from his physical prime and is already showing elite two-way play. You lock him up, and when the cap is 100 mil, his deal is a steal. I think so. Jason, no, I hate Carolina, and I want them in the playoffs. Be careful what you wish for, man. Be careful what you wish for. Thirst for war, it's not just the Canes. Look at the last several games. The NHL is icing the hottest power play in the league. Natchez is a loser now. Used to like the guy. Natchez made Nancy Kerrigan proud tonight. Why? The Nancy Kerrigan story is one of the craziest ones in a while. All right, I'm wrapping up here. I'm pissed off. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. 2 minutes. Throw out any closing comments, questions, thoughts. Maybe I'll grab a couple of my favorite Marty sticks that I could easily get to on my way back from the bathroom break, and I'll show a couple of them. I don't have the heat in one though. That's in a different location. put this like this. So one of the Marty sticks I always liked is this iconic model that he used for a while, including during the 03 Cup season. But this is a beautiful CCM co-branded with a little bit of heating on the top. You could see across the knob there. Let me see, I have lights and shit, so I'm trying not to knock this whole thing out of the sky here. But you see that the lighting sucks. Has his name on the shaft. It's super hard to show. Oh, there it is in focus. God, Brodeur. The Heaton CCM co-branded. This is a nice one. Game used Marty. Always liked this pattern just because I associate it with the 03 season, but he used it for a couple other seasons. This one's cool. And then we also have, I'll put this over here, the Sherwood from 2012 that someone referred to in the chat. I'm in tight quarters here. I got to be careful. Start breaking shit. Oh, let me get this off. Where's the button? This is the 2012 Sherwood. So cool. Thanks for doing his office. Yeah, no problem. Sherwood, 2012. I'm going to see if I can show any of the cool details here. I'm trying not to knock my lights. You see, there's the MB30 logo. And you got the Sherwood on the shaft, Sherwood on the paddle. This is when Marty started using, the red tape. Oh, man, I'm trying not to crush my lights on the knob there. This one's going to be easier to see because it's more printed than you see the Brodeur name on the stick. This is a sweet one. Game used Marty. How you doing? Yeesh. But yeah, those are two sticks that I definitely like. It's all good, Ace. We took the split and Cotter scored just like you said. Well, I originally said I wanted the split. Other people predicted that Cotter. I said it would be sweet if Cotter scored because other people were talking about it. But two people, I think Ryan and somebody else, both picked Cotter. That CCM foam core was great. I love playing with them. I played with Osgood CCM 10s for years. Not Osgood, sorry, Legacy. Stanley 62495. That's awesome. It's definitely not a playoff win, right? I think he kept all of them, or at least the ones from the cup runs. Oh no, I don't. Though the two that I just showed. Let me see something. I definitely have tons of Marty's win sticks. He did keep them up until a point, but then he got rid of everything, and so I have some very big playoff win sticks, including one of those, the 2012 Sherwood. That one is a win. That is a win, but I have plenty of wins, including very monumental wins. In the chambers. Sweet sticks, thanks. What brand beanie is that? This is a Devils Youth Foundation hat. Carolina's broadcast said they didn't see a dirty hit on Timo. That's interesting. That is very interesting. If their own broadcast said they didn't think it was a dirty hit. John Woodson, Devils have 0 goalies in the farm that have a pulse. The Czech kid is the only one with a save percentage above 900. I hope Yegorov could pan out. People were pretty high on him. He had pretty good reviews and things from scouts. Oh, Gustavo. The better team won. Going to be a nice first-round exit for Jack and the rest of you redneck lowlives. Okay. The referees won, but, it is what it is. Markstrom better be ready to pull his inner Marty and play until 40. Selected boy, it's pretty ironic of Canes fans shouting, "Ref, you suck." I want to see Dawes get a few more games. The guy, the guy from North Carolina calling us a redneck. I think that's kind of interesting. People are interesting. Sports fans are even more interesting than regular folks. Wow. Jason O'Malley looks really good. Canes fans, ooh and ah, every shot that goes 10 feet wide in the opposing net. Gustavo talking trash with that profile pic, LOL. Joseph, Rednecks and NJ. Traveling Devil, Canes fans are the dumbest in the NHL, and Selected Boy kind of hypocritical on his part. All right, guys. Wow. I'm just... They need to just come out and just completely destroy the Ducks, because I'm super pissed off about this game. The refs are a joke. I'm going to do some investigative reporting on this one. And if, in fact, that is their record, it's pretty insane. And maybe we could uncover a pattern here. Wouldn't that be something? If this little Devils YouTube channel uncovered a massive betting scandal that shocked the NHL. Oh, man. Evan, Devils will be fine. I agree as well. You're not going to win every game, but wow. What a way to lose one. It obviously hurts. It's going to sting me for a while. I hate the Canes, and we don't play them again for the rest of the year, which is pretty nutty. How are we done with a division opponent so early? A lot of Devils fans looking into this, so I'm going to go deep. I know a little bit about betting, so I might be looking for things that others might not. It's going to be interesting. We will put our findings out soon. But Rich Detective Ace is on the case. Sucks to lose to that team, but you kind of called the splitting. Cotter was going to get one. Nostra. I didn't call Cotter, just to be clear. Someone else said Cotter, and I was just talking about it. I called for a split. I mean, that's just the most logical, I think, result for the two teams. It would have been nice to win both. But I was not the Nostradamus on the Cotter. I believe it was Ryan and another person who, I'm sorry, I don't remember your username offhand, but I believe two people called for Cotter in the pre-game. The over was 6.5. Interesting. Okay, Rich, so you must have been one of the others. I asked who was going to score first and said Cotter was going to break out. Yeah, nice finish by Cotter. Unfortunately, it went in a loss. All right, but that's it, guys. Your New Jersey Devils got completely screwed tonight. And it sucks. It sucks. It stings. We move on. Got to get ready for this West Coast road trip. I have a bunch of stuff coming out in the next couple of days. If you're newer to the channel, a bunch of stuff came out in the last couple of weeks, so poke around, check out some of those videos. But I do believe I will have the West Coast road trip preview predictions kind of video coming up probably the next couple of days. I did do a vlog for the Hurricanes game last night, so I think that'll probably come out tomorrow afternoon, maybe. A little Friday night at the Rock vlog for those of you that like that sort of stuff. Max, Ace, if we definitely aren't playing Markey in both games back-to-back, would you go Allen against the Ducks and Markey versus the Kings? It's a tough one. I don't think they're going to look at the team as much as the timing of it. So, again, I wouldn't be surprised because Allen played this one if you see, the opposite. Markey versus the Ducks and then Allen versus the Kings. I mean, I wish they had the balls to play Markey at least a couple back-to-backs, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right, guys, that's it. I'm furious. Thanks for commiserating. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for coming to the lives. Thanks for just being a friend. Super painful. Your New Jersey Devils go to Carolina and get molested by the referees, losing by a score of 5-2. And this one's going to sit with me for a while. Horrible way to lose a game, but that's it, guys. I'll be back soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for participating. Please hit that like on the way out. Go watch some other videos and hit the likes on those too. And that's it, guys. It's all over. Enjoy your Sunday, whatever you may be doing on this holiday break for many. But I'm going to be stewing about this one for a while. Hopefully we come out and destroy the Ducks, like I said, and just kind of erase this from our minds because this was tragic. And I'm going to be doing some deep research. I will share what I come up with. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.